Jake, we have you on a mute monster here.
What?
What a start.
Yep, got a lot.
What an electric start. Where is it coming?
Wouldn't be a show about AEW if we didn't have production issues, right?
Oh, please.
That's on.
Folks, welcome to the show where it's not wrestling with your conscience, it's not wrestling with your budget. This is wrestling with emotion. Clearly production issues because the producer himself already out of the piece. If you're Tony Khan, you're going to get ready for a biggest show of the year, actually, in terms of AEW. AEW All In makes its return to U.S. soil ever since the original installment with the founding fathers, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. Oh, how far we've come, boys. 2 Wembley shows, and now this at, what's the ballpark called, Rob?
Globe Life Field or something
Globe
like
Life
that.
Field in Texas, home of the Texas Rangers, World Series champions as of recent. Jake, you're back with us. Are we good here?
Are we? Yes?
I think
We
so.
are.
I think so.
We can hear you.
We
Okay,
are.
Let's go.
Perfect.
We're back.
But as they say, everything is bigger in Texas, and that's what Tony Khan is hoping to bring to AEW All In at Globe Life Field tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, I believe, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of odd in my opinion to have a U.S. show midday like that.
It's nice and early. It's a nice refresher.
I'm not
It
complaining.
would be
too
nice
much.
to be done like night is too late, you know? It'll be like, well, I mean, AEW pay-per-view, who knows exactly what time
I mean,
it'll end.
the
But
way
That
these
should still
AEW
run
pay-per-views
until 10
typically
o'clock.
go 4 hours, 4.5 hours. You really want to be up until
It
noon
gives-
trying to find the main event match.
It gives Tony Khan even more time to have an even longer show.
This is true, and you know how we love to
Longer
complain
runway.
about those. Yeah. So, folks, we're going to have back-to-back shows here. Obviously, WWE Saturday Night Main Event and Evolution as well. Saturday, Sunday. So, without further ado, Jake, should we just get right into the picks?
let's get right into it. And we start with the 0 hour. A rematch of a big match this week. And at least a well-thought-of match, FTR and the Outrunners. FTR got the win on Collision. Let's start with Partham. Do you think the Outrunners get it done here on the 0 hour?
It was a really good match that I actually did catch. I usually keep Collision on, and try to do other stuff. But this particular match caught my eye. They really had a lot of good false finishes. In the end, FTR came over, and I'm surprised they're running it back so soon. But if they're going to run it back so soon after FTR went over, then you got to go with the Outrunners. And pre-show matches usually are baby faces going over, getting the crowd, nice and riled up. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think this is just kind of one of those filler matches. I think they needed a match to put on the card, and they were like, "Ooh, they just threw out a pretty good match. Let's just throw them right back on the card." I really don't think FTR is going to win back to back, and I think they're trying to really push the Outrunners. So, give me the Outrunners.
Yeah.
Slick, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the Outrunners as well. Same reasons you guys said. The Collision pairing. So, they were paired with also Jet Speed and what's it called, if I'm correct, from the tag title match tonight or Saturday night. Jet Speed and
It was Jet Speed. Yeah, I can't remember
Eight-
who was the other person in that match, but
yeah, who is it's Jet Speed and the Patriarchy, right?
Yeah, I think it was
yes,
the
that's
Patriarchy.
right. Yeah, Nick
Yeah,
Wade and Christian Cage. Yep.
Yeah, if that's any indicator, I am going to go with the babyface here as well. I'm going to go with the Outlaw. Jake, do we have a clean sweep, or what do you think?
Clean sweep. I think that makes, I think that's telling that they did the match already on Collision, but give the Outrunners the big. I already know that they already said they're going to be watching that tag team title match very closely. So we'll see what happens there. Another 0 hour match we have.
Boo!
Which Kyle O'Reilly making his return, triumphant return to the conglomeration, because conglomeration can happen at any time. And they take on the Don Callis family, the C squad of the Don Callis family on the pre-show. What are we thinking here, Slick Al?
I mean, if you're having, actually, I was gonna get really quick into that prediction, but the Don Callis family is presented as the most dastardly family and faction in all of wrestling. I do think there could be a big spot with Don Callis family here to go total heel on the Big Boom family, if you will, the Boom conglomeration. But given that it's on the 0 hour, I don't think they'll do that. Obviously, you want the people happy and people trying to feel good about buying the pay-per-view at hand. I think Takeshita will have a big spot potentially in the men's casino gauntlet. So I think Big Boom, AJ, and the conglomeration over the family here, and maybe the family will have another spot later tonight.
Yeah, just like the first match, I think they're going to put the baby faces over. Obviously, the fans love Big Boom, AJ. He gets 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. And here's a profit prediction for this match. Big Justice is power bombing Don Callis.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
what,
my
the
God.
kid? Not the little kid. The
I love
medium-sized
it.
Oh, the son.
Dude,
Big
some
Justice.
people say that
The medium-sized kid.
the Big Boom power bomb rivals the last ride, and those are Big Justice and Big Boom AJ's words, not mine.
Who did he power bomb
People
the
are
last
saying.
time he was around? I forgot. The last pay-per-view that AJ
Yeah, that's a
wrestled.
good question. I just want to address this comment here. On a recent trip to Western New York, Ric Flair put down 9 tequila sodas at Ilya DePalio's. I saw he was at the restaurant, which is crazy. He went all that way, given that he's at the convention center during the day. Not surprised about the tequila sodas. I have even more stories that I can't even reveal on this stream. But hence, we're talking AEW.
Speaking of Ric Flair, just real quick, after those 9 tequila sodas, you know what he was saying? Woo!
There's only one thing to say after 9 tequila sodas. That or never mind.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that on
Yeah.
We're Live.
No. You didn't know where I was going with that. A producer out again. Partham, we're kicking it to you though, I believe.
Let's not spend too much time on this. Big Boom AJ is going to go over. It's a pre-show match. The celebrity's going to win.
You sound thrilled.
Oh, ecstatic.
Yeah. Okay. Glad we
Are
could.
you not? I think you get 5 big dooms for that one.
Oh my gosh. Are we gonna?
Oh
do it?
yeah. What am I going to get? Demerits or something? Oh no.
You never know. The Ulafala could be taken right off your neck. But hence, we are right out of the pre-show and right into gauntlet matches. Or should we? I'm going to do this one first because the gauntlets are exciting. Ops versus the Death Riders. Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Gabe Kidd. So this is Ops, Hook, Samoa Joe, and Shibata, correct?
No, Hook's not there.
What?
Where's Hook?
Shibata, Hobbs, and Samoa Joe. That's it.
Where's Hook?
Hobbs, right. Okay, cool. Okay, Jake's back. Thank goodness. So I decided to do this one instead of the gauntlets first, Jake. Just
Go for it. Yeah.
And for the end. So Hobbs, Joe, Shibata versus the Death Riders. Jake, start us off.
Ooh,
Before you do that, did you make your selection for the?
Yeah, did you have Big Boom?
Oh yeah, Big Boom AJ. Big power booms for everybody.
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
You gotta get it
Big
done.
booms for Jake right now.
The Ops and Death. This is interesting to me because, like, I don't know. Like it depends how you feel. Like around the. Does it depend on how you feel about the rest of the show? I feel like these guys, we definitely count on them being there later on. I'm gonna go with the Death Riders. I think the Death Riders get this done. I think they do a switch here, and it doesn't. Maybe even a beat down of one of some of the ops or one of the ops or trying to do something like that to keep them out of the fray possibly later on in the night. But I do think we get some Death Riders positive momentum early on in this show. So yeah, I'm going to go with Death Riders.
Parthy.
Oh yeah, Death Riders. I keep calling for this ever since we saw Hook get injured and go away, and he showed up the one time just to help them out very briefly, and then sort of, shook them off and went to the back again. I feel like there should be something with Hook here. He should be returning. He should feel resentful that he's not a part of the Trios Championship, and he should, I don't know, turn heel or something and allow the Death Riders to win. I don't know if Hook's going to join the Death Riders necessarily, but I feel like this is a Death Riders win. Rob?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I really want the whole fall of Death Riders, but as we've seen in past, just any company, WWE doesn't matter. When you have multiple matches with the same faction, they never all lose. So give me the Death Riders in this one.
I want to pick the ops pretty badly here, but it wasn't there a scenario just recently where Claudio was like embarrassed on TV or something with someone as well, maybe even Wheeler. So for that reason being, I'm going to take the Death Riders. And also, if Tony Khan's putting Gabe Kidd on AEW TV, let alone pay-per-view television, I would expect him to be having big spots and probably coming away with the W as well.
I think I agree with that. I think Gabe Kidd's involvement, especially he's a Brit, the Forbidden Door's right around the corner. To have him with a title or he just potentially be in a big spot and in a highlight ahead of that is a good idea for AEW. And it just, Death Rider, it just, like you said, if it's a hook thing too, Parthy, like that makes the Death Riders even more imposing heading into the main event, right? It's like, oh my God, now they have the trios titles. Shibata is taken out backstage or whatever. He's completely, down, and they gained Hook too. It could look trying to add the bleakness in more and more throughout this show. It wouldn't be a bad idea, I don't think.
I think it would be weird if they added Hook to the Death Riders. I don't want to jump the gun, but especially if Moxley were to lose in the main event, that could kind of be the downfall thing with the Death Riders.
Add members when the top guy loses like that.
But you never know. We could be in for 3 curveballs in a row, so we'll see.
If you want to make this a card of curveballs, you can make it a card of curveballs. There's a couple ways you could go about it. I'm interested to hear how you guys think about it. Where should we go next here? Let's go to the tag match. Let's keep the title matches going. The Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus the Patriarchy. Now, Slick, Rob, Parthy, do any of you feel strongly any which way that the Patriarchy is involved in this match all of a sudden?
I'm just
because it's yeah, go ahead.
My theory, my thought is that when is Christian Cage going to get rid of that stupid contract? Why are we now going back into tag team wrestling with him? Put him into the picture somehow.
Wait, which contract?
Doesn't he? Am I losing it? Doesn't he still have the?
He cashed that in.
He did. What am I?
He made a triple threat and he lost to Moxley.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. I don't know why. I thought he still had it.
Oh, good. That's out of the way then. So you're good.
Then
the issue here is with him. It's is this just the impetus for the Nick Wayne breakup? Is that what are they just using this as the vehicle for him to blame Nick Wayne for this loss, and then they have a big falling out at the All In pay-per-view?
I can totally see Nick Wayne taking a pinfall, but which way that goes might be up in the air, because you'd think the Hurt Syndicate is just such a dominant tag team that they're just going to walk out with this. But they've been really pushing Jet Speed, even though I really haven't felt like they've been getting over with the crowds. And I mean, they tried to make them look like resilient, baby faces, getting beat down after beat down. And of course, in the Go Home show, what was it? The Patriarchy did a little concerto action on who was it? Bobby Lashley's leg.
Lashley, multiple.
So maybe that's another out for the Hurt Syndicate. Not to mention that they can lose the titles without being pinned.
That's a great point. I mean, it is and they've made Jet Speed look like $1 million the last couple weeks as potential contenders here. So Partham, what do you think? Do you think that there's a chance that the Hurt Syndicate walks out of here without the titles?
There's a chance, but I just don't feel Jet Speed at the moment. I'm just going to pick the Hurt Syndicate, even though there's all the reason in the world that they can have the Hurt Syndicate lose the titles and not have them, take the shine off of them or whatever. But I just don't feel Jet Speed right now. Maybe Tony Khan is just a mark for Jet Speed at this moment, but
it does seem that way.
Yeah, but let's just go with the safe pick for now, the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, I feel like in my thoughts right now is that I feel like you could do more with the Hurt Syndicate as champions than you could do with Jet Speed as of right now. And they hurt people. So how are they going to lose? So give me the Hurt Syndicate.
We have a Rumble entry at the very last moment before the buzzer. Maniac, are you there? It's not there.
Am I here?
There
You're
he
here.
is.
You're here.
You're hurt. You're here, and you're hurting people.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. I didn't want to hurt people by missing this episode. Shout out everyone for starting it. Shout out Jet Speed. Shout out Patriarchy, because they're definitely two developing teams and brands, in my opinion. This would be great to get them a spotlight. Great for these guys to put them over as young, developing talent. But you cannot stop the Hurt Syndicate, and they are going to go into All In and take care of business as far as I'm concerned.
You also can't stop Maniac's Mike. Well, that was a little scary for a little bit.
Yeah, there continues an echo, but we will get through it. So I'm last to pick, I believe. I think Jet Speed, as much as Tony Khan is trying to make them look like these Wonder Boys. Oh, Jesus. Echo sounds crazy. I'm going to mute you. As I was saying, they continue to make them look like Dragon Ball Z characters almost. I think the patriarchy is going to get caught up and screw Jet Speed to not realizing there's an opportunity. Someone's taking a pin somewhere from the patriarchy, whether it be Nick Wayne, whatever. And this does lead to the Nick Wayne turn, but there's no reason for the Hurt Syndicate to not retain here. They're the hottest faction seemingly in wrestling, and they hurt people. So they're going to hold these titles for quite a bit longer, I think.
All right. I like it. I think we're all on the Hurts then. We're all hurting people tomorrow, or hoping to hurt people. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but we got one more title match and we're getting into the gauntlets. Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher, the Proto Star, for the TNT title. I'm going to kick this one off. I'll pass it to Slick. I think there's a lot of momentum for Kyle Fletcher. I love Kyle Fletcher. I think he's awesome. I think he has a bright future. There's a lot of ways this card can go, and I feel like maybe could be predictable, maybe not, depending on how you're looking at it, whatever. But I feel like we're going to have a couple shockers in here. Kyle Fletcher wrestled twice this week on TV, and Adam Cole didn't. For that reason alone, I think Adam Cole retains, and Kyle Fletcher does not get that big title win just yet. And it also feeds in to tonight's match with Takeshita, who has a match on ROH Supercard of Honor against Bandito. I don't think he's going to win that either, setting up a little bit of a situation where they disappoint Don Callis over the weekend and then see how that goes forward. They also had them enter as a tag team this week. So I'm just reading the tea leaves, and I'm going to just take a stab at Adam Cole retaining here and getting a big win at the stadium. Go ahead, Slick.
Wow. It passed over my head that Supercard of Honor was tonight. That I'm pumped now. So back on to that. Like, what more can you ask for on Friday night? You made some great points, but I think the momentum outweighs, like, putting this title on Kyle Fletcher right now outweighs saving it for the future. He already has a lot of momentum. He's proven he's one of the best young talents in AEW. And I think he could carry, like, Adam Cole's doing it too. He has a name that people know, but Kyle Fletcher could take this title to, not that Adam Cole's not doing it on Collision, but the weekly challenges, weekly defenses, a workhorse title, because this is a young guy that can go for a long time, and he's not even close to his prime yet. Aussie. Oi. Give me that TNT title on the Fletch, baby.
Yeah, I think for me, I think it's finally time to give Fletcher that singles title. Adam Cole has been, at the top of the card for a while. So I feel like Adam Cole can kind of still be okay with losing this title. And I think it's finally time to give Kyle Fletcher that title. So I'm going with Kyle.
Yeah, Adam Cole is, well, much as he's over with the audience, with the Adam Cole Bebe stuff, he's lost a little luster as a performer, as a star, as an attraction. He's still popular, but and they gave him a good TNT title run, a good singles title run. But it hasn't been really of note lately. And Kyle Fletcher's one of their rising stars, the Proto Star, they call him, of course. So yeah, I think it's time to crown Kyle Fletcher. Maniac,
what you got?
I was waiting for someone to take the mute monster off me over here. Are we good?
I was letting you be responsible and do it yourself.
No, yeah, all right. Well, DIY. With that said, I respect you guys wanting to put over Kyle Fletcher. Obviously, a talented young man. Have we so quickly forgotten that the AEW dark era of 22 to 24 was almost begun thanks to Adam Cole not being in the spotlight, to Adam Cole not being on TV every week with a title? We're not going to make the same mistake twice. We'll get a 4 to 5 star match here, but Adam Cole retains.
Let's go. All right. We're pretty split down the middle there. 2 on Cole, 3 on Fletcher. That's going to be a really fun match. I'm really excited about that. And I think honestly, a
Star Trek.
nice moment for Cole, like the main event of All In a couple years ago, and then to have everything that he had happen afterwards, like it was so chaotic. So to be back here, singles match at All In, I'm excited for him as a performer. And then Kyle Fletcher, like you guys said, it's like he's gonna have a lot of these moments too, like this one and a lot more to come. He's awesome. All right, let's get into some gauntlets. The women's casino gauntlet match for a future AEW Women's World Championship match. Starting the match will be Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander in the 1 and 2 places. If you're watching this review and you're not familiar with how this match works, everybody comes out. It's kind of like a Royal Rumble where everybody comes out as entrants, but the intervals are basically just when Tony Khan decides to send you out there. There's pretty random. There's no rhyme or reason. It could be as many people in the ring at once as you want. It could be 50 people, whatever. But the first person who gets pinned, it's over. So it's immediately done after that. So it could be 2 people, 50, whatever. So a very fun concept. They're running a women's and men's. We're going to break down the women's match first here.
First ever women's gauntlet match in AEW history, I believe.
It is, I believe so. And on this stage here, it's a big spot for them to get a lot of people in. They've had there's a lot of talent. The all-star tags the last couple weeks. There's like Willow is going to be in this match. There's some good talent here, but any surprises? Do you guys have any ideas? I have one that I think is going to be a for sure. I think that Sari from she's been in Stardom. She's running her own promotion over in Japan right now. And now I don't want to, I'm going to say this guy's name. I don't want to get verbal abuse here. Dave Meltzer is giving her some of the highest rated women's matches of the last like 5-10 years. Like this woman is world renowned. A wrestler. You can say whoop-de-whoop. It's still a big deal.
I wish so badly we had the who the fuck is this guy?
And I know, right? And I think that with Forbidden Door right around the corner, she is the biggest Forbidden Door candidate for a women's title match. That would be a big deal. So I think she's a potential person there. And then there's some returns, like Jamie Hayter hopefully coming back from injury. Maybe the Dr. Britt Baker coming back in this match here.
She's fed bound.
Yeah, maybe she's.
Is she though? Like, is she even gonna wrestle again? Like, who knows what's good with her?
Yeah, maybe
like,
she just wants to be a dentist, bro. Like, it's probably good living.
Cleaning teeth and talking shit online, from what I see. But.
Did anybody hear the Tony Khan presser, like pre-presser or whatever, where he's using analogies to
tweets of it?
He's using analogies to a football team and how you keep some people benched sometimes as to why Britt Baker is not on television. Yeah, because the Buffalo Bills bench Josh Allen once in a while because they got to give whoever the backup is this year.
That is not even compared.
I know, but it's stupid. It's stupid to bench your starters.
Who the fuck wrote this bullshit?
You know what the hell I mean.
I agree. I'll just leave it at that. So who do we have confirmed? Chris Statlander
and Megan Bayne.
Megan Bayne, and that's
confirmed participants. Like if it makes it that far, we can imagine Tekla, Queen Aminata, Willow is going to be in this match.
Yeah.
Whoever was Julia Hart will be in this match. Thunder Rosa, Athena will likely be in this match.
Yep.
So there's a strong 9 to 10. I'm imagining we can get. But so let's get with some. Who do we think is going to win? This is a bonus pick, so we don't get a loss for this. But Maniac, do you have a pick for the women's casino gauntlet?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, is it Bayne time, or is she just a foil for someone else to beat? I'm gonna go with Megan Bayne here. She's looked great on TV recently, in my opinion. A lot of people were watching her randomly at Sports City when she was on the screen. I was hearing some oohs and ahs. I know this is a long shot, probably, given the fact that she's kind of the foil to the faces. But I'll go with Megan Bayne.
Okay, Arthi.
So this ties into who I think the women's world champion is going to be by the end of the show. Mm-hmm. If it's going to be, depending on whether it's a heel or a face, you want a face or a heel to be going up against them soon. So this might spoil it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be Chris. I think the Death Riders are getting in her head a little bit. I don't think it's going to be Megan Bayne, even though, she should be put on the fast track for a women's world title, even though they already gave her a shot. I want it to be Athena, but I don't think they're smart enough to do that. I want it to be Jamie Hayter, but it's too soon after a certain match that she had. So I'm going to just say Willow Nightingale.
Whew. I thought he was one of my pick.
Jeez.
Ooh, that was scary. I thought someone was gonna steal the Prophet's pick, but I'm going with the returnee. She just had a banger with most likely not the next world champion because maybe, who knows? But I'm going with Jamie Hayter, the returnee.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's my most likely pick too. I can't really. The next is like, Partham made a really good point because he's like, it comes down to who's winning the women's title picture, and I'm thinking like a lot of these girls are faces, so that definitely makes a huge difference. Jamie Hayter, I think, is the only one that makes sense, and that I guess there's some spoiler in that for me too. But a lot of fan favorites in here. I do think there's a GCW show in Dallas, Texas tonight that Elena Black, formerly Cora Jade, is scheduled for. I think if we have a Joker in a casino gauntlet, that's a perfect name
her
for
90
it.
days up?
She's in the area. I think it was. I think
She was never called up. It had to be 30 days.
30
Wow.
days. Yeah, the
Okay.
whole time. So I believe that's got to be up. And she's on a GCW show. She's in the area. Tony Khan would love to do it just to laugh to the bank on a weekend like this. So.
Yeah, hey, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm also going with Willow, but I think she could fight either woman. I just think she's the best and deserves title shot and be back in that picture. So I think this is a Willow moment, and I think it's gonna piss Statlander off. That's a good progression to that story too. So women's casino gauntlet out, men's casino gauntlet in. So we got this back again, guys, and we are starting off this one with MJF and Mark Briscoe, who are embroiled in a feud over MJF's tiny or big pickle, depending on who you ask. I think MJF would defend himself. I think that's fair. I'm just presenting both sides. Mystico is also confirmed for this match. Ricochet is also confirmed for this match, and we can expect this match to be pretty heavy star-studded. I imagine a lot of people getting big entrances during this. Any surprises, guys? Any thoughts on surprises?
Well,
and returns, I guess, too, would be a big thing.
I'll leave
El
that for my
Grande
pick.
Americano.
Yeah. Yo, if El Grande, he's a world traveling man.
The forbidden door is open.
Can you imagine if they didn't like trademark it and AEW just pulled like the biggest?
Oh,
prank?
they did.
Well, of course, but like they just sent a guy out in a mask and we're like, yo, just like go with it. You'll get eliminated so fast, but just for a quick bit. No, I don't really know surprise wise. Who we've been thinking on? Guys have been out for a while. Trying to think.
There's
one or two
ways you could go about it. Yeah, there's some. I mean, Copeland comes to mind.
Yes,
as
that's another one.
as getting a big entrance there. I could go for the really pie in the sky one if you don't think he's coming back just in the main event. Is Bryan Danielson? If Danielson wants to get involved in here and just say it, and he doesn't even have to. It could just be he like does like one running knee and leaves and just gets the pop. Like it might just be like a thing where he's
that's too cheap for him.
He does.
I mean, he might run in for
one
one move, but not in a match.
I'm just thinking Eddie Kingston.
Yes, that's
a guy who could return here. I'm trying to think if there's any other returners.
Keith Lee
is a great option, maybe if he's
glorious.
I signed him to Slick City Wrestling, and I haven't seen him since. Yeah, Jay White's
get him booked, brother. Get him booked. Juice Robinson. Probably he's been out for a while too, so maybe the Bang Bang Gang making their return. So yeah, some good surprise options. Maniac, do you have any options? Anybody want to miss him?
I thought it was gonna stay in the ether, but yeah, I'm thinking this is a Cope spot. To sound crazy, but Monster Pop, probably a chance at one of the biggest pops remaining in his career. Don't mean to get morbid about it, but good start to go here. Wasn't the latest dirt sheet on this that Cope wanted to pick it up with Christian or whatever, but Christian's going forward on the patriarchy storyline, so there's really no thing there.
He wants to carry it out with Nick Wayne, apparently.
Nick Wayne for sure. Real quick, because I know Eddie Kingston was mentioned. What do you have a better live odds at Eddie Kingston returning during this match, or maybe the main event to take out some Death Riders?
That is the $1 million question about this gauntlet match, I feel like, because who's coming back during this and who could be there? I think that's a great question. I would probably say the main event, honestly.
I'd say the main event just based on how it's a death match and it's against.
Oh, dude, the history with Moxley is like insane, especially in AEW.
And also, I'll spoil it right now, but I think Danielson's going to be coming out in the main event too. So like that
I do too.
That also lines up with that.
So with that said, I got Cope coming back, but I think it's MJF like all the way to the end, I would say.
Okay.
I got a big returning before we go more into picks.
Yes.
Back from Mount Everest, Darby Allin.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe none of us said that.
That's also another
I was
one
gonna
where
say it when you got to my pick, you jerks.
Yeah, well, I knew you were gonna say it, so I had to step up in front of you before you take my
It was my pick to begin with.
So
I'm picking Darby Allin to return from Mount Everest. I think he's going to win the Casino Gauntlet, and we're not going to see the last of him that night.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so does this mean like is this another title shot that's just whenever, wherever?
Yes.
Yep, it's a cash.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Darby is another person where I could see him in this match. I could see him coming back in the main event too. And
I could see Darby in the main event as well.
Yeah.
So are you picking?
What do you think,
I think Darby's gonna be back, but I don't think he wants the world title because he had it in his hands and he decided to go to Mount Everest.
He just told us in an interview he didn't.
Hey, you know who else didn't want the world title? Bryan Danielson, and they gave it to him anyway for a couple months.
That's true.
Yeah, well, Darby Allin's not Bryan freaking.
Yeah, that's different. So I'm going with MJF. Like I said on Wednesday night, he's got his mojo back, and he's going back for that world title.
I'm going MJF too. I think there is heavy involvement from the Hurt Syndicate that leads MJF basically all the way to this. I do also have a Cope return. Probably when it's like looking like MJF's getting towards the end, the goal is almost achieved. Hurt Syndicate has no more obstacles in their way. The Cope music hits, huge pop. Ultimately, the numbers game wins. MJF by hook or crook wins the Casino Gauntlet.
I like where all your heads are at. I think MJF will have too many ops in that match to get it done. I think Darby would get intercepted by the Death Riders. I'm going with Ricochet. Ricochet needs a big AEW world title match and a big win. So I'm going with Ricochet. Okay. I think he gets it done here. Let's go into the tag team match of the night. The Young Bucks, the founding fathers, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, who are putting their EVP status on the line against Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, who, if they lose this match, cannot compete for the AEW world title for 1 calendar year. Well, they actually haven't said a calendar year. They just said 1 year. But I'm assuming calendar year. This is big. This is immense stakes on this match for the storytelling of honestly, a lot of the future of the promotion and the way that they can go with this way. Slick, do you want to start us off? Do you have any thoughts on this match? What do you
Yeah,
think?
sure. I sound disappointed, and it's because I am. I love the idea of Ospreay and Swerve being the new EVPs of the company, the new faces, kind of a new wave era of AEW, if you will. I just don't see it happening. I don't see the Bucks being selfless enough to step away from television for that long. And I don't think that, well, actually, that's mostly just it. But people are going to say, you don't think Ospreay or Swerve will like go a whole calendar year without a title? No, I don't think they necessarily need to. Swerve definitely doesn't. He could be around the title picture, just not fully there. Ospreay is the one where everyone's going to be up in flames because everyone thought he'd be strapped like months ago by now. But he's a guy that's shown too he can continually do it and make it believable that he's one of the best on the roster, not only the roster, but on planet Earth, even though he still is defeatable. So I actually am going to go with the Bucks, and the circumstance sticks that they can't challenge. Bucks remain EVPs.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on this one. I think it can go both ways. I know we've seen in the past that Ospreay, he's another one that really doesn't mind not being champion. Because there's been multiple times in his AEW career, the last, whatever he's been 2 years, that you really thought, okay, this is his time. He's going to go to that main event and win the title. Obviously, we've seen Swerve as the champion. Young Bucks, I feel like they could still do their whole founding fathers bit without being the EVPs. But I really don't think that Tony Khan can book a show for a whole year without two of his top baby faces being somewhere near the title picture. So I'm going Swerve and Ospreay.
Yeah, I agree with you on that front. And oh, by the way, Slick, the EVP titles are not on the line; they're just on the line for the Bucks. Ospreay and Swerve are not winning EVP titles if they win.
Well, that's just dumb then. Like, what the hell happened?
No shit.
Well,
It's only Omega.
Well, sorry, I didn't know like how you're presenting that to me. Yeah, that's really dumb. Because it would just make a lot more sense if like they want to carry on a new era of AEW.
It's basically just stripping the Bucks.
They said they don't want to be EVPs.
Yeah, they said they don't want it. They said Tony Khan and yeah, whatever. The people are the EVPs and Tony Khan is the EVP.
Tony Khan. If honestly, that changes my mind. Not entirely.
I'm not
going to add so much time to us. I'm going to save us the trouble. But I want Swerve and Ospreay to win then, and Tony Khan to just come out and be like, nah, you know what? They're still EVPs. Like, you can't change that just because of a match stipulation. Tony Khan gets all the heat. That'd be awesome.
Why would Tony Khan strip the match stipulation, especially when the Bucks have been a thorn in his side the last year or so?
They're the founding fathers of his company. Why wouldn't he love the Bucks and want them to be EVPs? They've gotten him all this way.
They gave him a tombstone pile driver for... never mind.
He had to go to the draft with a neck brace.
Do you think he wants that to happen again? You don't want to be on the bad side of the fathers.
Anyway, I think that the main event plays into this a lot in the reports that we heard about who was going to be winning the Owen. And I'll elaborate that when we get to the main event. But for that reason and other reasons you guys have said, I don't think they can book around Swerve and Will being out of the main event title picture for more than a year. Even though people are saying, well, it's pretty well set up for hang on. I think we got a mute maniac here. Thank you. Even though it's pretty well set up and people are saying, well, more than a calendar years, they're going to be back in London for the next All In. So it's well set up for Ospreay to win the title. Then he can win the title at London Forbidden Door for all we know. But I'll just get to it. Swerve and Ospreay are going to win. Swerve and Ospreay are going to win. The Young Bucks are not only going to be stripped of their EVP titles, they are going to take a little vacation for however the heck long. I hope.
I'm changing my pick. I didn't realize that EVPs don't change hands.
Maniac, do you have a pick?
Jesus H. Christ. Is this like the Michael J. Partham show? What the fuck? Putting me on mute so you can talk for 4.5 fucking minutes. Sit the fuck down, Partham. And let me tell you something. Great job, AEW, with these match expectations. This could honestly go either way, but yeah, it is set up for Swerve and Ospreay not to challenge for the next year, so the Young Bucks will be winning. See, that's how you do it, Parthy. Nice and quick.
We'll see if you're right.
I see all the stakes around this match, all the chicanery, all the thing. I think it's going to come down to a simple in-ring wrestling story. There is one team who I believe is the greatest tag team of all time against a team who has not even shown they can really work together yet and has still had issues fighting. I think Swerve and Ospreay can't get along, and the Young Bucks win, and they remain EVPs.
I'm changing my picks back to the Bucks.
Jesus Christ.
I went back and forth.
And I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
Make up your goddamn mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you, Phil?
Pretty good.
Listen,
last time
we'll save that for later.
It did work out.
Let's talk about something real.
Phil ended up getting all that blood money that he wanted right off of his former.
Oh, will you?
Let's talk about the real best in the world. Kenny Omega taking on Kazuchika Okada in the title, the International Championship and the Continental Championship, not being unified. Well, they are being unified, but not the lineages. The lineages will remain separate. Tony Khan said they might walk out with 3 belts. I think that's so stupid. Why do they have so many fucking belts in this promotion? Just get rid of a couple, please. You're unifying it. We just need one.
That reminds me of when Sammy Guevara unified an interim and an undisputed and then just carried around 2 for like ages.
Yep.
It's like, what are you
I
doing?
hate not combining the lineage also. It's not like there's like some crazy history with either of these titles. They've been around for like 2 years max.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I don't understand Tony Khan's obsession with his titles. That being said, I think the reason he brought up the 3 titles and the reason he mentioned that part and the way this match is going to play out is that Kazuchika Okada is getting this done. Kenny has been a beaten man. Kenny's first interview this week, he was like, I don't know how many matches I have left in me. Like, that's not a tone setter for a guy who I think's toppling Okada. And if Okada wins, the series between them is 2-2-1 with a draw in there, setting up for a rubber match later on, probably for this unified title down the line. And I think it's going to look real cool with Okada holding the unified title and Don Callis holding the international and continental titles. But my picks earlier play into this, guys, too, because if Takeshita and Fletcher both lose this weekend, the story becomes Callis is obsessed with Okada and the other 2 are being forgotten. And it's an impetus for them to finally turn on Callis, which is, I think, the direction they end up going with them. So I'm picking Okada, long story short. Maniac. We're going to go around the horn this way. What do you got for Okada Omega round 5?
I think you pretty much summed it all up there. So I got Okada in a classic here.
You know, I thought that with the main event scene being the way that I'm going to pick it, I thought we needed a babyface to go over. But you said it, Jake, that Kenny's been out there saying how beaten up he is. And I think Tony likes putting belts on Okada, like from the Continental title onward, having him win the tournament and so forth. Yeah. I think the story is better with Okada winning that unified title and essentially a second world championship. And the people that could challenge him, maybe it could be Swerve and Ospreay if they happen to lose their match. Maybe even if they don't lose their match, they could still challenge for that. So yeah, let's say Okada.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an all-timer. I mean, every match these 2 have put on have been bangers. So I'd expect nothing less. And I think give me the Rainmaker. So give me Okada.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. You guys pretty much summed up everything. I think Jake is right. It sets up for the ultimate rubber match down the line, which could potentially even be Kenny Omega's retirement match.
That's what I was going to say.
Where it goes out in a Bryan Danielson type ending where he has the title on him and just ends up either relinquishing or going on to defend for a very short time.
The Okada sweep is not what I was fully expecting when this match got made, but I think we're all on the same page. I think we're in the right frame of mind there. We're here. AEW Women's Championship. Timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, versus 6 belts, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, the TBS champion, in what they have not only dubbed as the greatest women's wrestling match of all time. They're setting the standard, they're setting the expectations here. I definitely think it's got the potential for it. I'll start off the picks here, and I'll go to Slick. I've thought since this thing started, Timeless Toni Storm is the biggest face in this whole promotion, and this is the chance for the crowning achievement. And the story for Mercedes is not her winning by greed. It's what happens when she doesn't win. Does she lose confidence in herself? Does she build up a super faction to follow in the death route? Like, there's a lot of different options they can go. I think Toni Storm gets her stadium moment and gets her crowning achievement here. I think this is going to be a very, 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 very good match. But yeah, I got Timeless Toni. What about you, Slick?
I tend to agree with you, Jake. I think the theme here throughout this whole match is going to be Mercedes is so caught up in the timeless mind games and the hatred and trickery that they've been trying to pull with each other leading up to this. It forces Mercedes to take her mind off just focusing on winning the big one because she's still caught up in how good she is and the glam she has with all these other belts. It's not the end of the world if she doesn't get it. Not the full focus, just more focused on being in Tony's head. And I think that will cost her drastically, and AEW All In Texas will end in timeless fashion.
Yeah, this one worries me just because we all know who Mercedes Moné is. But I think she's finally gonna let someone go over her. So give me Timeless, and let's pray that happens.
Oh, you sweet summer children. Don't we all know the Monet train never stops?
Don't you start with this.
By the way, the Go Home on Dynamite, their promo together, Timeless Tony, very good way with words, saying how these belts are a mask for Mercedes, saying how she just wants a good death. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Mercedes and her writer, Jennifer Pepperman. And that's all I have to say about that. But regardless of that, it's going to be the belt collector again, Mercedes Moné. She's going to have one more to add to her collection. She's probably going to have to bring him down in a wheelbarrow or do the ultimate dragon, draped with 6 titles on each arm or whatever the heck it's going to be. But unfortunately, yeah, they're going to crown Mercedes as the world champion. Maniac.
Yeah, everything you said's right, but there's only one way that it's the greatest women's match /match in AEW history, and Tony winning just helps everything as far as the women's division going forward. So I'll take Timeless Tony.
Oh, by the way, Jake, you talking about Mercedes possibly forming a super faction? I could see that. In fact, I got that feeling.
Got a feel. Okay, hey, that could be an impetus in this main event too. So Parthy's got the vision. I see where you're at. Listen, this match also, I feel this way about Tony. This could go. I would not be surprised, and I would welcome a Mercedes Moné AEW Women's World Championship reign. I'm excited about this match. Let's get into it, though. The main event, Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW Men's World Championship / silver briefcase from Amazon. Hopefully has a title in there, and it's not. Who knows? I don't even know. Guys, let's get into the first thing before we get into predicting the match itself. Over under. How many people?
Well, I know what you're about to ask, so let's just say it right now.
Shenanigans.
There's going to be shenanigans. It's just a matter of how much.
How much? I was trying to maybe 9.5 other besides Moxley and Hangman. 9.5 members of the AEW roster, or just wrestlers in general.
How many Death Riders are there at this point? Does Gabe Kidd count?
Gabe,
yeah, I don't think Pac is coming back anytime soon. That the reports are, so he's out.
You got at least 5. Well, I guess 9.5 is a little low. Let's go 11.5 because you have at least 5 Death Riders. So
there's that many. Oh yeah, there are.
I'll go under.
You got Marina, Gabe, Claudio, Wheeler. Yeah, so 4.
All right.
You have the Young Bucks. Sticks. You have Swerve and Ospreay, probably, maybe Swerve, but
maybe Darby.
We'll count Ospreay, maybe Darby, maybe Sting.
I think Sting is going to come out.
Maybe
BD.
Maybe Bryan Danielson.
Eddie Kingston.
The Ops, Samoa Joe.
Bryan Danielson's storyline makes a lot more sense than Sting. I just can't see Sting getting off.
Well, if Darby comes back and he's all of a sudden in distress, Sting did come back seek and destroy at Wembley last year.
Yeah. It would seem that even with the addition of the Young Bucks in their alliance, the heels are kind of outnumbered as far as all the people that they've pissed off and would want to get involved in this match.
What is it?
Which is why the wild,
kind of like the Bloodline, right? I think this is going to be AEW's WrestleMania 40, the last time.
Well, they want it to be. Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is why it's it is interesting. The key wild cards in this would be Swerve, Danielson, Eddie Kingston, and how they react to the situation. Well, I guess Danielson we would know, but Eddie Kingston, even how he reacts to the situation is interesting. Darby showing up, what does he do in the moment? There's so many different key characters that come into this, and it's gonna. I say there's at least 12. 12. Are we getting
the Shield?
Yeah, can you imagine Roman and Seth run out through the crowd? All right, so let's get to it. Maniac, you got a prediction there, buddy? What do you think's gonna happen?
Yep, I got Hangman Adam Page. Enough is enough with this Death Riders storyline. The only reason I hope that they'll say they didn't end it sooner was because they can give it the big payoff here over the last 2 to 4 months or whatever. Hangman Adam Page after 8 minutes of shenanigans and then a double buckshot.
All right.
Yeah, there are going to be some ridiculous shenanigans in this match, like straining logic and reason, I would even say. But unfortunately, this is not the end for Jon Moxley. Not quite yet. I don't think Hangman's in this for himself. He's not in it for AEW. He's not in it to avenge AEW. He's in it to avenge himself. And I think Moxley, that's his hang up, or at least his character is that he's hung up on the right guy winning it, and Hangman is in it for entirely selfish reasons. But the big one is, of course, and I keep going back to it, but of course, this is the entire reason for my pick here. The Fightful report that said Ospreay would rather Hangman win the Owen and Hangman rather Ospreay win Owen. If they're so interchangeable, then how does it matter which one? If it didn't matter which one was going to be in it, then obviously it doesn't matter because neither was going to end up winning this particular match. And I think the same logic applies to the tag match as well, which is why I don't think that either Hangman or Ospreay were going to be banned for challenging for the title for 1 year.
That was so long ago, and part of what if that report just flat out wasn't true? Like, would your opinion change? No,
he's gonna blame the report and say he wasn't wrong at all. That's what'll happen.
And he'll say that he never believes Meltzer.
It wasn't Meltzer's report.
It doesn't matter.
It wasn't the one time until it was.
Yeah, so. Make sure you cite the report carefully, or someone will come after your timeline. We know.
Crying out loud. Anyway, we all thought it was Ospreay's tournament to lose, and then Hangman won it. So, as far as I'm concerned,
I picked Hangman.
Kind of like, I mean, you guys have all been expecting Ospreay to win from the second he came into AEW. I think the story has clearly been that that's not the case.
He doesn't need to. Yeah.
I think that Moxley is going to go over. I think the entire reason for the Texas Death Match is neither one guy wanted to get pinned. So this is a submission or knockout match, essentially. That's Texas Death Match. And I think Moxley is going to go over Hangman. But that's not going to be the end of the night, folks. But let's go on to Rob's pick.
Oh, thanks. I think it's time to end the Moxley reign of terror that he's been on. I think it's finally time to hopefully see a title come out of that briefcase. Hopefully, maybe it would be pretty awkward if there's no title in that briefcase. And I think it sets up who wins the Casino Gauntlet in MJF. I don't think you really have MJF versus Mox. So give me Hangman.
They open the briefcase. There's no world championship in there. CM Punk's music hits because you guys forgot who the real world's champion was.
No, and then Cena comes out.
Yeah. Talk about fantasy booking if you want WrestleMania 40 type stuff. I'm going with Hangman. I think all roads have led to this. I think if they were in on Darby being world champion, they were out on it a bit ago, and they rerouted to this, which I hope is the case because Tony Khan has not gotten the message up until now, and if he hasn't by the end of tonight, we got a serious problem on our hand, brothers. But I think Hangman gets it done. He overcame the odds against Ospreay in the tournament, which was a pleasant surprise to most, and I think he beats Mox and ends this Death Rider nonsense, basically, that we've had for the past 6 months.
Yeah, I think I don't think this means that it's out of the realm of possibility, but this is such a layup for the promotion to just give Hangman this win that if they blow this, it's like LeBron James running down the court, blowing a layup with a toddler chasing him who's tumbling over him, like can't even walk. And it happening. Like it's such an easy, this is the easiest decision you guys have ever had to make fans happy because there's really not a lot of negatives if you have him win. If you have Moxley win, good luck 8 o'clock and on tomorrow on socials, which we know Tony Khan pays attention to.
If Moxley wins, you'll have people so hyped for Goldberg versus Gunther.
I will be, I mean, literally.
And we keep mentioning
that's where I'm at this point. So I'm not saying it's out of the realm, but
we keep mentioning the tribal. What the hell is that match called? Tribal
Combat.
Yeah. We keep mentioning that WrestleMania 40. It's literally the same thing here. You need to have Hangman win this match, just like how they needed Cody to win that match. It's the same thing.
I know everybody. I too want the Death Riders to end. I too want someone to go over Jon Moxley, and I too think it should end at this show. But
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Hangman's not the guy.
I'm conducting business.
Enough of you. Holy
no.
crap.
Nope, not quite enough. Because even though Hangman's not going to win, This is still
They
cinema.
call this cinema.
Didn't we?
Because let me finish. Darby Allin is going to cash in his title match at the end of this match, and he's going to basically call out Jon Moxley like Jon Moxley called out him to cash in his world title opportunity last year. And Darby Allin is going to walk out AEW World Champion.
Brother, you gotta take that fantasy booking shit somewhere.
We'll see. Go ahead, play the clips. We'll see.
All right, we're gonna got a hand.
I'm laughing right now.
Yeah, let's get to the hey, it could go either. Partham, it could go either way. I listen. There's not.
I
If,
think that
if
has a
Darby
better-
wins it, go ahead, Maniac.
I think that has a better chance happening after a Hangman Adam Page win.
I can see that too.
No.
No, that just sounds stupid.
That just sounds
Yeah. CM Punk cashing on Jeff Hardy, that would make
So
sense.
what is your
asses.
pick? Is your pick Jon Moxley to win that match then?
Yes.
And then Darby comes in afterwards. Okay.
Well, the official pick is Jon Moxley, but there's no, Darby Moxley match on the card, so it's not an official pick. But let's just call it, a called shot.
Imagine Max just beats Darby right away too.
Oh,
Mox
see, that's
squashes
something
Darby.
where
Squashes
bets are off.
Darby. We'll see, man. All right, yeah, but we'll be back here in a couple minutes to talk about the big WWE shows this weekend, Saturday Night's Main Event and Evolution. So come right back here with us. This is the preview. This was the preview for All In. This was not the show where you wrestle with your budget or wrestle with your conscience. This is the show where we wrestle with emotion. We'll see you in like 3 minutes. Peace.
Yeet.